welcome back. I'm Micah Weingarten, and today I want to talk to you about some ways you can manage your energy when you cannot get out of certain things like your work or a commitment you just cannot say no to or cannot back out of, like tech rehearsal. It's a thing. If you are a performing artist, you know that tech week and rehearsals are essential to refining your craft. So let's dig into it. Last week, I talked about the importance of being mindful of your energy and doing what you can to protect your energy at all costs. When we lose sight of where our energy levels are, if we continue to push and push ourselves beyond what our body is acceptable with, that's how we go into burnout territory. But sometimes we can't say no to things. Sometimes it's just not feasible to call in sick again to work. So, what are some things that you can do, some real things that you can do to manage and protect your energy and still get in some rest when you can't avoid the thing that you're doing? So, first thing I want to talk about is work. A lot of us have to go to work. I now just to preface, a lot of this is going to come from my perspective as someone who is a corporate employee, who has to adhere to a specific schedule, and also someone who has hobbies that have commitments with other people. Like as a performance artist, rehearsal and tech week it's a big deal, and when you're not there, it hurts the show and it hurts the other performers. So, um, again, these are just some ideas to hopefully get you creatively thinking. And if you have any suggestions that I don't cover, please comment down those below and share them with the community, because we are here to support and love each other through our experiences and our knowledge. So don't hold it back. So, first thing, let's talk about work. You have to go to work if you have a job. Sometimes there is value in taking a mental health day, like taking a sick day because you need a break, you need to take that mental health day. There is nothing wrong with that. There is nothing. That's why a lot of us have vacation days and sick days, is so that we can rest and recuperate, because our companies generally know that when we are well rested and we're taking care of our mental health, we perform better for the corporate bottom line. Now, those of us who work for smaller companies, are self-employed, those we tend to break the rules when it comes to our self-care a little bit more often. But when you have a lot going on, that is when your self-care routine is essential. If you have a lot going on, it doesn't sound intuitive to add more to it, but that's when you need to create more self-care routine. One of the things that I like to do is when I have a lot of stress going on in my corporate job and I can't take a day off because of deadlines or other commitments, or maybe I've taken too many already, I try to create luxurious routines. Now, for me, that means getting up, and I like to do some chanting. I'll link my favorite Dr. Wayne Dyer meditation in the show notes. I start my day with that. I'll do some stretching. I'll go for a walk. I'll listen to a motivational podcast or rewatch a mastermind call, something that inspires me and uplifts me and gets me excited for my day. I love incense. My nose is my superpower. And so I like to burn incense. There's something about it that just makes me feel really luxurious, or like a favorite scented candle or something like that. I like to engage my sense of smell. And if I'm feeling really sluggish, I try to listen to some music that isn't going to distract from my mental focus, but is upbeat and makes me want to move and get really excited. Something about moving and having something I can kind of sing along, but doesn't distract from what I'm focusing on. So like I'm a 90s baby, so stuff from the 90s, it's not distracting for me. I can still sing and focus on what I'm looking at, without getting distracted. But sometimes like some kind of lo-fi beats is what you got to do. Find what works for you. Think if I have any message for you, it's to always be curious and to play. What I'm offering are invitations, they're ideas, they're things to get you thinking, but ultimately you are the curator of your life and you need to discover and explore and maybe reach out to friends and see what works for them. So, if I'm able, once I get home from work, if I can pick up dinner on my way home, or if I have the ability to order something so that I don't have to cook or prepare some food, I try to go that route. Again, I'm privileged, like I have the ability to do that. I know not everyone does, but try to think of ways maybe that's stocking your freezer full of ready meals so that when you're in emergent situations like this where you need a night off of slaving in the kitchen, definitely do that. Anything to create shortcuts and make life easier for you, try to employ whatever you can. One of my things is I love to take baths with bath bombs, with bath salts, with candles, or nothing at all. Sometimes just being in the water and watching some inspirational videos or even just scrolling on TikTok, like, because I need some laughs. That is restful. That is restful for me. That is something I can add to my self-care routine that helps me feel rejuvenated the next day. Let's talk about commutes. Some of us, I work from home. I haven't had a commute in over 10 years, but I do remember the slog of having a commute. Sometimes some of us have really long commutes. So, depending on what your commute looks like, if you are able to drive, having something like an inspiring podcast or a book on an audio book. I almost said a book on tape, and then I went ahead and said it anyway. So, if anybody's dating themselves to me today, it's me to me. It's oh my goodness. I'm silly. So, something that's inspiring, always good. Here's one thing I will advocate for: listening to a novel and not an inspirational podcast or a self-help or empowerment book, Audible. Listen to a novel. Let your brain play. Let your brain unplug and just fall into the whimsy of something that isn't moving the needle forward. Let your brain and body take a break and listen to something that is fun and entertaining. Just because it's fun and entertaining, you don't have to fill every second of your day with some inspirational message or some kind of productivity thing. Rest is productive. So listen to that novel, indulge in that smut, whatever you enjoy. Do it shamelessly, unapologetically. Listen to what you love. It doesn't have to be advancing anything but your happiness. I've got notes down here, so I'm not all over the place. If you don't drive, if you're able to take mass transit, that's not something that's feasible for me here. Our mass transit is pretty much non-existent, but maybe incorporating a hobby into that commute or practicing breath work, meditation, mindfulness, seeing if you can avoid scrolling. Not to shame scrolling, there is a time and a place, but notice if you are filling your downtime with mindless scrolling or other sorts of behaviors that are actually nourishing you, but are contributing to depletion. Now, for those of us who have things like Tech Week is a lot. It's long hours and there's a lot of physical work that usually goes into it. This is when you really need to step up your physical self-care routine, incorporating massages afterwards, making sure you're warming up beforehand, really making sure you take care to nourish your body, eat good foods as best as you are able. Um, drinking lots of water, getting those electrolytes in, and really, again, making sure you prioritize sleep at night, get as much rest as possible. I know one of the things that I would do when we would have big rehearsals or tech week is some of us would go out after our rehearsals, and then I would be out way later than I normally would, be like girls' night out or something. Don't recommend that normally. Like, I would avoid going out and hanging out too late afterwards. You need to grab some dinner, and then go home. Massage your body as you're able, like apply, get a nice cool shower in or a warm shower, whatever your preference is, whatever feels good, whatever takes care of you. Get those ice packs on where you need ice packs. Really focus on making time to nourish your body, because even if you're working extra hard and maybe you miss out on that extra hour or two of sleep, if you're doing what you need to do to take care of your body, then it can have positive benefits at the end of it. That's all I have for you today. I hope you found some of these tips helpful. Again, if you have anything that maybe I didn't cover, please comment it down below and share with the community, because we all benefit from each other's knowledge. And with that, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to this channel for more tips and inspirational messages. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Goodbye for now.